All right. So, say you're me and you're in math class. Of course, it's 2022 and the quarantines have not ended. So that means sitting alone in your tiny, depressing dorm room and half listening to the Zoom call. The professor's droning on and on about the alleged importance of linears and doing algebra to them while you're hopelessly distracted by an article from NASA about the latest Mars mission on your other monitor. And you're like, yeah, I get it. Lines are cool. You can solve some cool problems only by adding and multiplying numbers. And sure, maybe I'll buy that these insufferable algorithms we have to memorize actually have really elegant mathematical reasoning behind them. They make nice socks, at least. Okay, but tell me why I have to spend literally an hour hand calculating a 4x4 inverse matrix when a computer can do it in half a millisecond. Please. Meanwhile, say you're a small interplanetary spacecraft named Wally on a mission to Mars. You have about an hour until you're due to fly by the red planet at exactly the right second, at exactly the right angle to catch a radio transmission from the Mars InSight lander and radio it back to Earth. Oh, and your partner Eve went missing a few weeks ago, so it's all down to you. No pressure. Now, under normal circumstances, this would be easy, considering you were built for this exact purpose by JPL. Except, when you come out of sleep mode for the big event, something has gone horribly wrong. You're tumbling uncontrollably, your reaction wheels are saturated, and your fuel's leaking. Okay. No big deal, no big deal. You figure you can use solar radiation pressure to slow your spin and then point the leak in the direction you want to go. And you'll get there with time to spare, too. However, before you do that, there's a tiny little detail to resolve. Where is the sun? Meanwhile, say you're an overworked software engineer at Amazon. You're supposed to be launching the hot new flagship AI platform, nicknamed Chappie, in about 10 minutes. You're supposed to be launching your final edits to the code base. However, you are currently staring at a compilation error that says simply, invalid argument error. Input matrix axis 0 must equal 3. All right. What do you mean invalid argument? I gave you your box of numbers. Your entire job is to take in a bunch of numbers and do some linear algebra stuff to it and spit out another box of numbers. This is just insulting. Here you are at the bleeding, bloody edge of machine learning, and its entire foundation decides to break down in front of your eyes. What are you supposed to do? Do all 250 teraflops of calculations by hand? Meanwhile, say it's 3022, and you're a member of a commune on Eris, a far outer planet, where all aspects of life are regulated by a supercomputer you call the Chaperone. Now, it might sound scary, but it's actually pretty great. The lifestyle the progenitors dreamed of and worked toward for centuries. No more maintaining basic survival infrastructure, no more programming computers to tell them what to do, no more doing calculations by hand. The Chaperone takes care of all your needs and frees you from all burden without you even having to remember it's there. You and all your siblings are free to pursue the pursuits that truly make us human. Until one day. The lights go haywire. The intercoms only play the Latvian national anthem on a loop. Hold on, there we go. The replicators are serving everyone cinnamon toast crunch with shrimp tails for breakfast, and the heaters turn off. The Chaperone says, "Please remain calm. Everything is fine. Contact an authorized Octane Corp service person for troubleshooting." Yeah, about that. Octane Corp was destroyed along with the rest of all life on Earth 700 years ago. Awkward. Okay, back to 2022, me in math class, because they make you go like every single day. But instead of doing matrix cross products, because why? Instead, you're knee-deep in a paper about spacecraft navigation, because of course you are. Except, funny enough, you also stopped paying attention to that about 10 pages ago. When did Mars missions turn into linear algebra? Oh, cross products? A2 Brute? Still, even though the math looks disgusting, you suppose you should give it the benefit of the doubt. It seems like it's just a really ugly way to represent an algorithm so elegant. Okay, back to Wall-E. Things are not looking good. The sun is way too dim. You can't keep your high-gain antenna fixed on Earth long enough to receive help of any kind. You figure you're about 1,000 kilometers out from the target, but there's no way to be sure. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Activate Kalman filter. Adding and multiplying numbers. Orion constellation recognized. Orientation calculated. Beginning maneuver. Sun breathing, fifth form. Solar winds. Sun lock confirmed. EDL uplink sequence initiated. That was close. Okay, back to the Amazon programmer. Since Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics have decided to break down, you've resulted to your old CS-156 textbook from college because, well, it's the only one you forgot to burn. Anyway, lots of bold letters, nothing about reinforcement learning. Huh, neural networks. I haven't seen one of those since 2025. Okay, I see. It's one of those situations where you spoon feed it some raw data and then it adds and multiplies a ton of numbers and then somehow poops out something that makes sense. Unless you don't give it enough training data. That's probably the issue. Wacky. Then again, you suppose that's what literally the entire code base is built on, but there are entire cubicle farms automating that process, so all you have to do is press one button and bam. You've never had to deal with that finicky low-level stuff before. Well, until now. Ugh. You don't get paid enough for this. Still, it's pretty neat that the most complicated, ingenious thing humanity has ever created is really just a bunch of elementary school math problems. Honestly, you suppose it's not even that far off from the inside of our own brains. At the end of the day, it's just a ton of variables interacting with each other. Actually, now that you're thinking about it, what is the difference? How would you know if Chappie here gained self-awareness? If he was in pain, how would you know? Oh no. Chappie's in pain. Chappie's in pain. I gotta help him. I gotta save him. Oh shit. Launch day. That's probably fine. Back to Eris. With the chaperone out for the count, things are getting cold, very cold. Your comrades are busy writing poetry about the snow falling from the ceiling or carving sculptures about the ever-enclosing nature of the specter of death itself, but something possessed you to try and revive the chaperone. And Mr. Chappie has the nerve to be like, oh, the pain, the agony, it feels like something inside me is invalid. And you're like, cry me a river. We're gonna freeze. Throw me a freaking bone here. Chappie thinks for a while and then says, well, you could manually restart the heaters if you could calculate the right number of flux crystals to reinfuse into the main power matrix. Okay, hold on. Wait, back up, you say. What the hell is a number? From inside the circuitry, you hear the sound of Chappie literally blowing a fuse. Then, you guys are fucked. LOL. So cold. All right, me in math class again. It's coming up on the end of term, and you still have no idea what an eigenvector is. Sounds stupid. Look what it did to that poor dog. Although, if the past couple of months are any indication, you'll probably see one show up unprompted in the middle of your next project. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's almost like the foundations of engineering were written in the language of linear algebra or something. And you suppose that's kind of the whole point. It was never supposed to be about the numbers. It's about how we use them. We didn't invent the concept of eigenvectors just to create meaningless problems from nothing. We invented them to help Wally finish its calculations before its battery runs cold. We didn't invent math just to get our kids used to toiling away at meaningless, miserable tasks in preparation for a lifetime of wage slavery. We invented it to empower them, to build the future that we couldn't. And that is why there are pumpkins. Thank you. Just kidding, pumpkins don't exist.
Right, so all four of the storytellers. Yay!
Everyone take your bow.
All right.